Now then, and welcome back. Welcome back. This is a channel update video today. Hi, welcome back. I've been gone for a little while. Only a week, but a little while. And rather than doing this as a welcome back intro to another video series, I thought I would just say where I've been and do all that kind of stuff. So they don't disrupt the flow of other series if people are watching it in playlist in the future. So, all the good things are going to be coming back very soon. I'm starting recording again today, but I did take a week off. The week off was due, in part, to my youngest son going through an eye operation on Monday last week and needing to be looked after for a week. For his recovery, to make sure his medication was kept up to date, his eye drops and the like. So while he was at home, we've been playing some Minecraft together. So a new series that we're going to be starting pretty soon is like a season 3 of Nemsun is My Dad. Kind of. It's going to be kind of Nemsun is My Dad season 3. What's actually going to be is my world. It's going to be my world. And I'm going to put it on a server so that the boys and my daughter can also come and play on the server with us. There's lots of things that's going to happen, but I'll introduce that properly in the episode that's going to be the start of that new series. Okay? But just to take a quick look around in the... we've been doing this while he's been off school for a week. Yeah. One of the reasons I didn't feel up to doing any Minecraft videos or any other video recording while he was off, and it's difficult because it's a difficult subject, right? He had this eye surgery, and during the eye surgery there was a complication. Now, there was no complications for anybody else, but there was a complication for our child, and it made things difficult. Not through the day. Let me try and let me put it in context for you. There was supposed to be an anaesthetic to stop him feeling any pain during the eye operation, where he was having one muscle of his eye shortened slightly to correct a squint that had developed, possibly over playing too much Minecraft. I don't know. No, it's just a normal thing in kids. They actually had 5 kids in on that day. There were 5 children all in that same operating on the same eyes surgery that day. There was the same thing 5 different times, and it's a weekly event. There's lots of kids that do it, and because my son was the oldest of the children in there, he had to go last in the surgery, so he had to wait until everybody else had had their surgery. And so we're waiting in the ward of the doctors in the hospital, and we're hearing the screams of these children as they're coming back from the operation and trying to keep our son as brave and strong as possible, distracting him from what inevitably is about to cause him a lot of pain. A lot of pain. He knows he's going to have this pain. He knows there's a lot of pain. He knows the other children are screaming in agony because they've just had this eye surgery and it hurts a lot when they come back round. And so we're focused on that. We're focused on getting him back from surgery and being prepared for the pain so that he's ready for it, so he can be a big boy and work his way through it and get better. All the other kids, they all had like 30 minutes going into the surgery and coming back out the surgery, and then once they had come back, they had about an hour of this screaming in the ward. So we had a couple of hours of screaming kids on the ward, preparing Thomas for the amount of pain he was about to have. Yes, I did say his name, Thomas. About the amount of pain that he was going to have, and how that was going to affect him when he came out. That was the first thing. But then, when he went in, it was half an hour went by and was expecting to get a call to go and pick him up, to go and see to him while he came round from the anaesthetic. And the nurses came to us and said, he's not out from surgery yet, we don't know what's the matter. We'll call you when it's ready. And another half an hour passed. And then the nurses came to us. And it was a very, very long hour of waiting by that point, because we didn't know what could potentially have gone wrong in the surgery to cause them to not bring him out on time, to cause a delay. What was gone wrong? Nobody would tell us what had gone wrong. No one would let us know. And we couldn't find out, so we just sat waiting in terror of what could be wrong. And so he comes out, right, after already terrorising us for half an hour waiting for him, and tells, and we're told that he's out and he's ready. So we go down and meet him, and they tell us that he's fine, but the operation was successful, but they then hand over the staff from one to the other. And they like give a little briefing of what happened during the operation, and we find out that during the first incision into the muscle of the eye, that Thomas had reacted to the pain of it, which shouldn't have been something that he could do. It shouldn't have been something because, well, anaesthetic. It's supposed to stop him feeling all that pain, and so he reacted badly, and his heart rate dipped right down, and they had to react in an emergency to sort him out and fix it. That didn't sound too good. It didn't sound too clever. I didn't think that was a great idea that they had there. I didn't like that. But it kind of washed over me. It was I was seeing my son coming round from this operation, and I didn't really think about it straight away. I didn't think about it other than my son's here. He's alive, he's well, he's going to be in great pain, he's going to need his dad any second now. He's going to be coming round and realising just how much pain the operation has caused him. So we get him, we take him back upstairs to the ward, and we look after him for an hour while he's not screaming quite as badly as the younger children had screamed, but he's still upset and crying, and it's heartbreaking to see your child upset and crying, especially when it's nothing, literally nothing you can do to change the situation for them. And so we're just giving her hugs and encouragement and helping to alleviate any pain and upset that he may have. And then he goes to sleep, just like all the other children, kind of sleeping off the anaesthetic. So they had an hour of pain, and then they had like an hour or so of sleep. And it wasn't until much later on, after he'd had a lot of sleep, maybe 2 hours worth of sleep, and we told it was okay, he was sleeping because he had had extra anaesthetic during the surgery. And so he was likely to be suffering from it slightly. He was likely to be suffering a little bit more, so he needed a bit more rest. And it was a good sign. He was okay, he was happy enough to rest. It was taking his mind off the pain. The normal pain meds, like paracetamol or ibuprofen, was getting into his system at the time as well. So he was going to be getting back on the pain-free, shall we say. And so the rest was the best thing for him, right? So, yeah. And then we're the last ones to leave the hospital, and is already refusing by this time to open his eyes. He was refusing to open his eyes. Refusing because he didn't want to feel the pain that having his eyes open would yield, because when he opened his eyes previously he felt the pain. So he kept his eyes closed. And okay, fine. I thought, fine. But then hours later, we wanted to check his eyes were okay before we left the hospital, and he refused to open his eyes because he was too scared of the pain that may be coming from it. All the other children were leaving. They were already cleaning the ward and cleaning it all up and all that kind of stuff. And long story short, we were there for quite a while just trying to convince him that we needed him to open his eyes so we could see, and him refusing to open his eyes. Now, the story goes okay after that. He didn't open his eyes for a long time still, but he did eventually open his eyes and he was fine, right? He's fine, he's recovering now, everything's okay, so there's nothing to be scared about right now while making this video. He's fine. He's back to school today, he's had a week off, we've had fun playing Minecraft together, we've done all this. We've been doing a lot of work, and this is our little village that we've started up with. But on that way home, that drive home, when he's still in pain and he's still kind of dreary because he's still sleepy from having a couple of hours sleep, and he's still kind of working his way back to being himself again. After all that, I'm driving him home and I'm thinking about what has happened the day. I'm kind of absorbing all the information of what has actually been going on today. What happened? What do I understand from it all? And I realised that he could have. Now he didn't, obviously, but he could have. He could have died in that operating theatre. He could have, and it was kind of because of us. We as parents put him into the situation that we found him in. He didn't need the eye operation to correct his squint. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't affecting him. He wasn't having problems at school focusing. He wasn't having problems in play. None of the other children were really noticing. It was only after like a few hours sitting in front of the TV or something that you would notice that his eye would one eye would go to sleep a little bit, and it would wander off a little drift, and then he would correct it. So we went to the doctors to find out about it, and the doctor kept him under observation for a couple of years, and it didn't really get any worse or better, and it wasn't really a problem for him. But we thought, okay, well, we'll give him eye surgery now because the doctor's saying it's no problem whatsoever. It's just a nice, simple operation that happens every day. And so it was more out of vanity, I feel. We put him through that procedure. We put him into the care of the anaesthetist and the doctors and the surgeons out of vanity. And everybody individually was good and helpful and good at their jobs. The NHS is a great thing. We had free healthcare, and for vanity, we had a free eye operation on our youngest child, our 5-year-old son. Now, complications were quickly rectified in the fact that he didn't have enough anaesthetic, and I don't blame the anaesthetist. I feel like Thomas just had an effect that they weren't expecting. He must have some kind of tolerance to anaesthetics, and so they had to give him a top-up and some pain meds and settle him back down. And by the looks of it, it was just brief seconds that his heart rate dropped, and he panicked. Maybe reacted to the pain with panic and all that. And I can only imagine what it was like on the operating table, and that also is kind of hard to imagine. Hard to imagine what's going on in the operating theatre when your son is like in dramatic pain in the middle of being under the knife, and under the knife on his eye as well. It just felt really bad. Yeah, it just felt really bad. But he's all well now. Everything's fine. But I haven't stopped being able to think about it for the entire week while he's been off. There's been short occasions when we've been able to have some fun together like this. In fact, the majority of the week we've been having fun playing stuff. Power Ranger toys. He's enjoying his Power Ranger toys right now. So we've been playing Power Ranger toys and watching lots of Power Rangers on Netflix and YouTube. And Minecraft. We've been playing lots of Minecraft together. And having lots of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be included in a new series that we came up with ideas of during this break. But I'll save that for the introduction to another series soon. I wanted to get all of this off my chest, and so that if you're interested in why I've been away and have some empathy towards this, that you will understand that while my son wasn't in any great danger, he was in very capable hands, he was in the best place, the doctors and nurses and surgeons reacted quickly and accurately and made everything happen, and they saved him. They put him in that situation and they saved the situation. It was just an operation. It was a blip in an operation that they sorted out. There's no harm done as such, but I felt bad about it all week. And I just haven't been able to bring myself to start feeling jolly and recording stuff with a smile on my face, saying, now then, or welcome back, and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to spend the week with my son to make sure that he was okay. To make sure that he had the best possible recovery without any distracted daddy. Daddy was not distracted all week by doing YouTube stuff. I just decided it was best to take the week off and look after my boy. So I'm sure you all understand, and I'm sure I have your sympathy and your friendly comments down below. I appreciate it all, and I'll try and say thanks in the comments. I'll try and answer everyone's questions if you've got any further questions about it in the comments down below. But I don't intend on bringing it up in any future videos. The series based on this seed will be starting very soon. Very soon. So look forward to that. And I've got lots and lots of cool things. So if you're interested, check that out. It'll be great. Until then, though, thank you very, very much for listening to me go on about, stuff and things. I will see you in the next episode of whichever series you tune in for. Thank you for watching.